All right, guys. It's Friday, and that's always a good thing. So, here we go. I want to start. I don't know where I'm gonna start. Yeah. Okay. I know what I'm gonna do. So Simone Biles. Let me say this about Simone Biles. She is the greatest. It's not even close. She's the greatest female gymnast of all time. She's the GOAT in women's gymnastics. No one even comes close to her resume. No one even comes close. She is outstanding. She is the standard. She's the standard of women's gymnastics. And, you know, young girls who want to go into gymnastics, that's what they should be going for. Okay. Here we go. But Simone Biles, she talked about, image expectations and ignoring the trolls. I want to say this. So if you know gymnasts are not tall. They're short. They have, big thighs. They're really strong with the things that they have to be able to do. But they're short and they can look disproportional. They can. But Simone, wrote a letter. Where is it? Right here. She said, let's talk about competition. Specifically the competition I didn't sign up for and feel like has become almost a daily challenge for me. And I do not think I'm the only one. In gymnastics, as in many other professions, there is a growing competition that has nothing to do with performance itself. I'm talking about beauty. I don't know why, but others feel as though they can define your own beauty based on their standards. I've learned to put on a strong front and let most of it slide. But I would be lying if I told you that what people would say about my arms, my legs, my body, of how I look in a dress, leotard, bathing suit, or even in casual pants hasn't gotten me down at times. As I think about it, I don't have to look very far to see how common this judgment has become. I'm tired of everything in life being turned into competition. So I'm standing up for myself and for everyone else that has gone through the same. Today I'm saying I'm done competing versus beauty standards and the toxic culture of trolling when others feel as though their expectations are not met. Because nobody should tell you or I what beauty should and should not look like. Okay. So, what she has to say is interesting. Let me say this. I don't believe. Here's the thing about beauty standards, and I think it has to be discussed. Beauty, let me say this. Beauty is relative. I will say that. And I think what has to happen. I've talked to many women of different ethnicities, and sometimes they will talk about, how if they're not a certain color or have certain features, then they feel that they're not beautiful. And they feel that the media portrays only certain types of women as beautiful, specifically white women. And I would say this. I would say that media does, in fact, I think media is an extremely powerful tool. When you control the media, you control many people, like millions of people. So here's what has to happen. And I don't think I've ever shared this before, but I want to say this. Ladies, when you look at yourselves, when you look at your body and your figure and stuff like that, here's what I think you have to do. One, let me say this. If you want to compare yourself to other women, which, you do, and sometimes, what you have to do, you have to compare yourself to the standards of your ethnicity. There's not one set of standards that all women fall under. There are certain features that white women have. There are certain features that black women have. There are certain features that Chinese women have. There are certain features that Japanese women have. There are certain features that Native American women have. You have all these different ethnicities. And you can't just compare yourself. It's not right for you to compare yourself or for others to compare you to just the standard of, I'll call it, Eurocentric beauty. That if you're not white, then you're not beautiful. That's just not a thing. And also, what I think has to be done is, here's what you have to understand about us men. When we see you, I feel like women have this idea that we only go for like those really skinny women that you'll see on, the models on the catwalks, or, those actresses, or those, Victoria's Secret angels. Let me say this. There is an ideal body type overall. If you surveyed all the heterosexual men and just asked them, what is the ideal body type? There will be a certain type that we go for. But that doesn't mean that if you are not that body type that we don't like you, or that we're not attracted to you. That's like, it's just ridiculous. What has to happen, you have to understand that we men are visual. And if we're with you, okay, your boyfriend, your fiance, your husband, they think about you naked. Let me say this. And they like what they're with. You may not be what you once were, but we like what we see. We like what we're with. We're not looking for a certain shape. Simone Biles, I really think she's pretty. She really does. I really like her eyes. She has a great smile. She's cute. I really like her. I find her attractive. Would I date her? Probably not. The only reason probably being that she's really short. And that's just me. But I think she's really pretty, and I would say that if you showed a picture of her to like 10 guys, I'd say most of them would say, yeah, she's cute. Here's the thing. Women, here's what you have to understand. Really, it's you guys who tear each other down. You women can be really catty at times. I'm not saying all of you, but there are times where, you'll say, oh my God, did you see that dress? Did you see those shoes? Her makeup was off. She doesn't know how to, her blush was bad. You tear each other down. Us guys, there are things that we like, there are things that we don't like, but we don't get into the nitty gritty of it. We're like, oh, she's cute, she's cute, she's cute, she's cute, she's okay. She's cute, she's cute. No, I wouldn't do her. She's cute, she's cute. That's what goes through the mind of a guy. When guys walk around, we're like, okay, and we're not saying this is the only thing that we think about when we're walking, but if we see a woman, it's, there's that part of us where it's like, yeah, she's nice. Ladies, you can't be tearing each other down. That is one thing that women do that you guys shouldn't. It hurts you guys. And understand that if you have a boyfriend, if you have a fiance, if you have a husband, they want to see you naked. They think about you being naked. They think about you in lingerie. They think about you in a bikini. They think about you in a swimsuit. And they like the image that comes into their head. No, you may not be the most beautiful girl in the world, but we like you. Just because you see things on TV, that's, they show the ideal body type of, kind of thin and tall. That's kind of ideal. But that's just not the only thing we go for. Like, you can just walk around and see couples of all shapes and sizes. So that narrative, I remember this one girl. We were it was in high school. It was either my junior or senior year, and I can't remember. I think it was my junior year. But she was talking about, because we were talking about the power of media and just how effective it is, and, how to use it effectively, how to be ineffective with it. And she kind of just was going, let me say this. She was a big girl. She was big. And she pretty much just went on and on about, the media is not fair. They think that only skinny women are pretty, and that if you're anything that's, if you're not a size 0, 1, or 2, then you're ugly. And literally all the guys just looked at her. And there was a guy next to her where he was like, okay, yeah, no. And he was kind of a savage, but he was like, just because you're big doesn't mean, you can just be mad at, smaller women. It was one of the greatest lines I'd ever heard in high school. Like, it was one of the most savage things I'd ever heard. And I'll never forget it. But what I'm trying to say is, ladies, we men, we love you. We appreciate you. We think you're amazing. I was talking to my sister about this yesterday. Here's the thing. A man is not complete without a woman. That's actually biblical. That's actually biblical. God made women for men because God looked at Adam. Adam was first. He was by himself, and he was like, that guy's kind of lonely down there. There's no one suitable for him. Let me make him someone for him. Ladies, it doesn't work. Our lives don't work without women. The world would suck. Because we men, what you have to understand about men, we do, and I said this in an earlier episode, everything that we men do, we do it for women. We go to school, we get an education, we try to find a good major that we think we could be great in, so that way we can, make money, make a difference, and, attain these resources, so that way we can get the woman. If there was no woman, there'd be like no drive. There'd be no, we would just be men would just be looking around at each other, just all bored and stuff. Be like, well, dang, this sucks. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. Let's, you ladies, you don't understand just how much you mean to us men. The one thing I hate about, feminism especially third wave feminism, is this idea that that men just don't appreciate women. Are there some jerks out there? Absolutely. Absolutely. But most of us aren't like that. We love you, we appreciate you, we think about you, we think you're great. Sometimes you guys can be annoying, as we can. But we're not all pigs, and you guys talk about, toxic masculinity. And it's like, no, there are just certain things that guys do, and you just call it toxic just because you don't like it. Now, I'm not talking about, manspreading, things like that, or, manspreading. That's something that is labeled as, oh, that's toxic masculinity. You're just trying to, take up as much space as possible. You're trying to sit there and, just, look good and look like a king and just take away space from women. No, it's not. No, it's not. And you just have to understand that when you push a certain narrative, it's just not good for you. Stop tearing each other down, help each other, build each other up. If your friend is wearing a bad outfit, help her. Tell her, hey, you know what? That's really not you. That's not being mean, because sometimes there have been times where I've seen, a group of girls, and one of them, they're just looking a little rough that day. They're just having a bad day. And I'm just like, look at that. And, I've heard conversations from girls where it's like, oh, she just doesn't look good today. That what she's wearing right now is just not good. And that same girl is hanging out with them, but they won't say anything. They won't help her. Y'all gotta help each other, man. Simone's talking about, competition, and she's right. Everything shouldn't be about competition. Help each other. If your friend's looking a little rough, help her. Just, I don't know. But that's all I'm really going to say about this topic. Where am I going to go next? I'm going to go to this Monica Lewinsky story. Well, it's really about Bill Clinton, where he said that his affair with Monica Lewinsky was to manage his anxieties. Now, in no way am I condoning what Bill did. Not at all. What he knew what he was doing was wrong. Monica Lewinsky, she knew what she was doing was wrong. Okay, they were both wrong. It was wrong. It was disgusting. It was unacceptable. There were no, those two were not victims. Neither of them were victims. Both of them were, willing. They knew exactly what was happening. But I just, I was just thinking about this, every person has, and let me say this, Bill Clinton's not the only man who has ever done this, or who's, who's had affairs with women and was a sex addict. Well, then again, I don't know if Bill Clinton ever claimed to be a sex addict, but you had people like, JFK, Martin Luther King. You had many men throughout history who they couldn't stop sleeping around. And I'm not saying, it's not okay, but there are some people, their thing is alcohol. Their problem is sex. Their problem is drugs. Their problem is porn. Their problem is food. Their problem is TV. Their problem is video games. Everyone has their problem. And I don't know, man. I think there are areas that we have issues in that we won't talk about and that we won't, seek help on. And I will say this, if there is any problem that you're having and you don't know where to turn, you can turn to Jesus. And I'm not trying to be funny or anything like that, but like, I'm being serious. You can, if you ask Jesus to come into your life and you say that, he's Lord of your life, and you get saved, you give your life to him, you get baptized, and then eventually you get filled with the Holy Ghost. I'm probably going to do like a lesson on that like later, because there are terms that I use that you guys may not be familiar with. But what I'm saying is he can help you, and he will help you because he wants to help. God is a merciful God. God is not this angry man in the sky. He's not. He is full of grace, and he is rich in mercy. And I think that's just one of the amazing things about being a Christian. Because what's amazing is we cannot be perfect. There are times we fall over and over and over again. And when I mean fall, I mean mess up. You mess up every single day. Sometimes you know it, sometimes you have no clue. But it's huge. And what's amazing is that no matter what you've done, he still loves you. God still loves you, and he wants a relationship with you. That's amazing. It's to me, I'd say it's impossible for us as humans to really grasp and understand the love of God. Whatever you have done, whatever problems you've had, whatever your past is, he still loves you. He still cares about you. He wants a relationship with you. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. And he knows that, we all deserve death. All of us. There's nothing we can do to deserve heaven. The gift of God, salvation is the gift of God, not of works. There's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do to earn our way into heaven. It can't be earned. And that's the beautiful thing. Because we all have no shot. But he just says, if you make me Lord of your life and, go through the appropriate process, you're in. He's not asking for perfection. He's asking for effort. He's asking for righteousness. He's asking you to, just obey him. And the plan that he has for you is way better than anything else you can imagine. You may not become a billionaire. But what you have to understand is this earth it's finite. It's going to come to an end. You have one life to live. There is no reincarnation. You don't die a human, then you come back as a beetle. You don't come back as a cow. You don't come back as another person. That's not a thing. You get one chance in life, and this life goes by really quickly. So that's, we Christians, our faith is in the fact that we know that there's more to come after we die. We know that we will get to heaven, and then eventually this earth is going to, perish. It's going to go horribly, it's going to be terrible on this earth. And then that's going to be wiped away, thrown in God's trash can. and then he's going to create a new earth, and we'll be with him forever. So we are concerned about eternity. Here is good. And God will bless us in this life. And I want to say this. For some reason, there are people who believe that there's something wrong with being a Christian and being rich, especially with pastors. There's this idea that, pastors, they shouldn't have nice things. They shouldn't have big houses. I don't know where they got that from. God wants us to prosper. And if we do what he says, he will bless you. If you do the right thing and you make the right choices, I just hate it, man. When I hear about, pastors having, big homes and, nice cars and private jets, it's like, well, you're not allowed to have that. They've been interviewed of like, okay, well, where do you get the money from? Many pastors, they don't just preach. They do other things. They have investments. They have real estate. There's a pastor named Wayne T. Jackson. He owns what's called the Impact Network, which is a TV channel, and he's doing a lot, and he's a very blessed man. And then there are people who've come up to him and say, oh, you're just stealing the money from the people. Okay, first of all, no, he's not, because let's say he could not have what he has. And he would have been caught a long time ago. And it's just ridiculous. But that's just what I want to talk about. I just want to talk about God's love and just how merciful he is. And just how much he loves you. No matter, it's amazing. No matter what you do, he still loves you and he still has his arms open towards you. There is no such thing as getting it together. As long as you are alive, you will never get it together. You will never be 100% perfect. But don't wait, because you don't know when your last breath will come. Okay, I want to talk about this disgusting story. I am absolutely appalled at this story. This is so disgusting. This is egregious. But you know what? No, I'm not even going to try to give it a word, because there's no word. Execrable is not even strong enough. There was this video that was caught in New York City, and it was from it's a surveillance video, and it shows these guys. It's got to be like 15 to 20 dudes beating this girl up. I mean, it's like they're in a huddle. It's like they're huddled up. This girl is 15. She's on the ground, and they are laying the lumber on her. I mean, they're stomping on her they're just, oh my God. I genuinely think, I don't know what happened here, but this girl must have done something to them. Well, I shouldn't say must have, but that's just one thing that came to mind, because I mean, you gotta look at this picture. You can see the girl on the ground. There's her backpack. She's covering her head, but it's like a bunch of them trying to really hurt her. Like, it is a serious mugging. pretty much they stole her sneakers, which were Air Jordan. They took her debit card and they took her cell phone. I mean, I'm trying to figure out what happened here, because this is first of all, let me not jump to conclusions. Did she do anything? Did she do anything? I cannot believe, what I'm looking at. Here's the thing. I've heard of people getting jumped and having their shoes taken. I've heard of people getting, jumped and having their backpack stolen. Or, they get mugged and, but I've heard that from 2 guys, 3 guys, maybe 4 guys. These are, it has to be I've counted, it's a little bit difficult to count, but I count 15 guys who are just, they're giving it to her, man. She had to be taken to the hospital for bruises and trauma, which, well, yeah, but I mean, there's another one where this girl, she's on the ground, and this one guy, he's about to jump on her. But I don't know. The video begins with the girl already on the ground and one of the boys kicking her in the chest and face. He is then joined by the others, including one who jumps on top of her, then kicks her in the head. I don't know what to say. I don't know what, here's the thing. I don't think it'd be too difficult to find out who these guys are or who this girl is, but there has to be more to this story. Because you don't just jump someone. I don't know if she lied on him. I don't know if she stole something from them. I don't know if she slept with all of them and gave them an STD. I don't know. But this is not normal. They're not holding back. I don't know if there's a video. Because all that I've seen are just pictures. I mean, this girl really, this one guy, he has Timberlands on. There's another guy, he's got boots on. I need to know what happened. For me, I'm not, first of all, oh God, I can't even say how I'm feeling right now because I'm feeling so many things. Because this is not a typical thing where a bunch of dudes just come up and beat this girl. Just come up and beat a girl. These are kids, they clearly got off of school. Or they're going to school. I don't know what time this was. No, it was Thursday afternoon, so they were getting out of school. And you can see that because they all have their backpacks on, which is even more weight added to them. But I need more. This took place in Brooklyn, yesterday afternoon. I'm going to follow this story, and God, man, this is so, it's hard to look at, but it's also, I can't help thinking, what caused this? Cause see, here's the problem when you have video. Video can be used as great evidence, but the question is, what happened before and then what happened after. So you're looking at this, and my question is, okay, first of all, what happened? Cause let me say this. Violence doesn't just take place out of nowhere. Everything has a cause. Something always happens. This may be a misunderstanding. My mind is racing of cause here's what I'm thinking. They didn't just say, let's just go beat this girl up. Just cause. Okay, that's not a thing. But I'm just looking at this and I'm like, my God, man, I'm speechless. I'm going to follow this story. I'm going to see if I can find a video and see if I can find more articles talking about what she did. This one is from Fox News, but I've looked at a few and they don't really say much of anything. They just say what was taken, where it was, Crown Heights, Brooklyn. Man, I don't know. I'm going to go on to the next thing because I can't look at this anymore because I need someone to explain to me what actually happened. This isn't random. You don't randomly, not 15, it's like 15 guys. This isn't a guy beating a girl. This is a gang of dudes. This is like, you could almost say like the school basketball team. The school, JV basketball team. Like that's how many guys it is. This isn't, I've never seen anything like this. I'm gonna go on to this last part, man. I can't keep looking at that. Okay, so, man, that was just, let me move on. I have to move on. So, I don't know if you guys watch MSNBC. Sometimes I do. I really don't like to watch, when it comes to politics, I don't go to television. Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, ABC. I don't really do that. Anything politically related, I research. But I saw this last night and this was hilarious. Like they were talking about last night. This took place last night. And I thought I was I didn't go on social media, to see the reaction. But I saw this interview live with Brian Williams, and I think if I remember correctly, her name is pronounced Mara Gay, and she's a New York Times editorial board member. And by the way, she's kind of cute. Anyway, they were talking about Mike Bloomberg, and there was a tweet where it said, now I'm going to read it slowly. I'm going to read this slowly, okay? MSNBC's Brian Williams read the tweet that said, Bloomberg spent $500 million on ads. The U.S. population, 327 million. He could have given each American $1 million. Now just think about that. What I just said should have sounded weird to you. Because it is weird. Because it's wrong. And I'm going to say this. This is just, it's hilarious. Okay. So each American could not have gotten $1 million. Because what was said here was that, okay, you could take this $500 million, divide it amongst all Americans, which is about 325 to 330. I think according to the world, I think according to the census, it's 327. Pretty much, they were saying if you divided $500 million among everyone in the United States, everyone would have $1 million. No. Each person would have $1.53. Or to be more exact, let me be more exact, $1.5290519877. That is yes. I thought it was I thought I misheard it. And I just kind of left it alone because I was like, there's no way I just heard that correctly. But I thought it was funny because I looked it up this morning. I was like, because it came back to my mind and I was like, did they say that? And so I looked it up, looked stuff up, and lo and behold, social media was just the internet was the internet. They didn't hold back. But you know what? Here's the thing. I will say this. Being on TV is difficult. It's not an easy job. They may make it look easy, but it really isn't. So I do cut him some slack. It was a big math. It was a math error. He did it, he did it really quick in his head. But no. And they just, it's just not good at all. It's just not good at all. Because here's the thing. They were trying to make a point saying, well, look at how much money, he could have put in. Look how much money, with that money which was just wasted, he spent $500 million. He easily could have just, given that to Americans. Where everyone just receives a check for $1.52. That's not even worth cashing. The point they were trying to make was like, these billionaires, they just have all this money. Why don't they just give us some? And if you're going to do that, you gotta have, your math has to be right. It has to be correct. Don't just, I don't know. If you're going to make a point, you gotta have the math right. Especially when you're criticizing someone for them not sharing their money with you. Like I thought it was really funny. You may not, but just the fact that, and the guest, Mara Gay, she was like, yeah, I know. I mean, it's incredible when you put it like that. And it's like, it's true. It is not, it's not true. It's just basic math. You just do 500 million. So 5 with 8 zeros divided by 327 with 6 zeros after that. Then you hit the equal sign. See what you get. But I don't know. I thought it was funny. So anyway, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys, learned something, got a little bit of a laugh. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your, your prayers and stuff like that. I've got a lot. I wouldn't say I have a lot going on, but I'm excited about, what's going on. I've got some articles that are going to be coming out. One I think is it's pretty controversial, I would say. Maybe both of them. But the book's coming out. The book is going, great. I'm excited. But yeah, I'm not in college right now. Like, I'm taking the semester off, and it used to like suck because I'm just being home, and all my friends are doing other things. But I look at this stuff. It's given me a lot of time to be really productive on projects that I wanted to work on. So I'm really grateful for that. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy your weekend, and You will hear me again come Monday morning or Monday evening. Have a great weekend.